Hey, sorry, my voice sounds terrible. I am really ill at the minute, but I wanted to get this out.
Always something, isn't there?
Now, Final Fantasy XVI's producer Yoshi P. He claims that the game was influenced by early Final Fantasy I, which is true, lots of castle kingdoms and you go around messing with all the big crystals, but the game is clearly also heavily influenced by the TV series Game of Thrones.
You know nothing.
I think it's undeniable, it's very on the nose about a lot of things. It might sound silly, but I think once you pile up all the evidence, you might change your mind.
That's not true.
Now, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing is up to you. Maybe you've never seen Game of Thrones. I really liked it early on. Season 4 is probably one of the greatest TV shows I have ever seen.
How gratifying.
But after that, the TV show writers completely ruined it, and it got a lot of hate as it deserves.
Whoa, easy, easy.
I'm going to run through all the similarities or the influences I picked up on. There will be story spoilers, and let me know if you noticed anything that I did not. Let me know in the comments. I try to read and reply to everything. Okay, let's start with Clive. Clive is the odd brother out in the Rosefield family, and his mother Anabella treats him differently from his brother, treating Clive as a failure and generally rejecting him as a son for no fault of his own. While in Game of Thrones, Jon Snow is also rejected by Catelyn Stark and treated like a black sheep for being a bastard, which is completely out of his control. All of the other family members still love their brother and son, it's just the mothers with the issues.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
Clive firmly believes in doing his duty,
I will do my duty. You must do your duty too.
while Jon Snow tries to be honourable and wants to do his duty by serving the Night's Watch. There is this whole idea that Clive is the chosen one, the mythos or logos. Jon Snow has his own prophecies as the prince who was promised, Azor Ahai.
He's the prince that was promised.
Well, until the TV writers screwed that up. Both Jon and Clive separate from their family, but eventually reunite with their long-lost uncle. They both had their own wolf pet and adopted family member from another kingdom, taken as a ward, pretty much a prisoner of war. While Jon loves and forgives his ward brother Theon, Clive falls in love with his ward sister Jill, technically recreating a Song of Ice and Fire, the name for the series of books that started with Game of Thrones. Jill is the ice-dominant Shiva and Clive is the fire-dominant Ifrit.
Come to me, Ifrit!
A Song of Ice and Fire coming together just like Game of Thrones. Hey, I'm trying to grow the channel, I'm trying to reach 10,000 subs, so if you can help with any likes or subs, that would be an amazing help. My voice is terrible at the minute, I am ill, but lots of RPG content still to come. Thank you. Later on, Anabella was giving me Cersei Lannister vibes, a queen who becomes a vile, snobbish, crazy woman, but still deeply loves her spoilt brat of a son, the future king. And is it more than a coincidence that Anabella kind of meets a similar fate as Cersei, with their castles crashing down around them both in their final moments? Benedicta is a big manipulator working her way through all the houses to get a strong position of power and playing all sides.
Come, little lamb, to the slaughter with you.
She reminds me of Marjorie Tyrell in Game of Thrones, who plays a similar game, pretending she loves people and manipulating. Goetz felt inspired by Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Goetz, there you are. I didn't know there'd be a dragon.
He does speak funny while Hodor can only say his name.
Hodor.
While the Bahamut's Dominion, Dion reminded me of Loras Tyrell. In very similar war camps, they're both secretly kissing their boyfriends. I guess you can make some connections with Game of Thrones' big bad villain, the Night King, and Final Fantasy XVI's villain, Ultima. To be honest, they're both still mysterious and we still don't know that much about either of them. While the Night King turns people into whites and raises the dead to serve him, Ultima spreads the blight and raises the dead to serve him in a blighted form. The two have very similar goals too. The Night King seeks an endless night and eradication of humanity, while Ultima wants to eradicate humanity and shape a new world for his kind. Final Fantasy XVI is the first mainline numbered game to take the jump up to the mature or 18+ rating. We've got lots of kissing and sexual scenes, it's very unlike Final Fantasy. While I can argue that there were some slightly more mature moments, they are only hinted at and may not have actually happened, like when Cloud and Tifa sleep under the airship and it fades to black in Final Fantasy VII. And it feels like more of a coincidence that we've also got Hugo getting his hands cut off. A big shocking earlier moment in Game of Thrones is where Jaime Lannister gets his hand cut off. Out of my sight, witch! I guess Barrett and Dine in Final Fantasy VII did get their hands shot and ended up getting them replaced, but we never see hands cut clean off. Got any other good comparisons? Let me know in the comments. Again, I'll try to read and reply to everything. Peace for now.